Hey, welcome to SKALD Crafts again with Nicholas and I, Lester. We talk about crafting stuff, and we also have a crafting guest. We have our weekly Wolfgang. More about him later. But first of all, Nicholas, it's a shame you're not here again. But we had you in last time. That was fantastic. How
Yeah,
you?
the last time was great. Yeah, as business as usual. Lots of work, less sleep. But there are a few things that I got pumped out the last few days and the last few weeks. And yeah, I'm very excited for today's stream and so that we can finally share what each of us was up to the last few weeks.
Looks like there's
So,
there's there's no small talk. We're just gonna get straight to business, huh?
no, dude, it's like always straight to business.
All right, can we pull up Nicholas stuff so that I can shit on it?
No, but how have you been? I've seen a lot of cat and dog pictures, some wholesome content, and so I guess you've been fine. You could relax a bit, and
I did some home office, spent some time with the dog and the cat. I didn't do as much crafting. I have some other topics though, and I also found the guest. So, I did stuff. Um, yeah, but I wasn't as productive as you. You definitely got more shit done. That's for sure.
but there's a difference between being productive and active coping. So
So here we have a picture of your heavily distressed gambeson. I did the first distressing, and then you went to town on it. It looks like. I mean, this is anyone who has a cleanliness fetish is going to want to throw that in the washing machine. That's really dirty.
yeah, so there were a lot of people that after we did the photo shoot when I was over at you, they talked about being too clean and not distressed enough for someone that digs trenches, sleeps in holes, and eats tree bark. So absolutely went to town with a wire brush and some acrylic paints on there. Used a whole bunch of black wash to yeah, darken the fabric, and this thick linen fabric from which the Freyhan gambesons are made. It's really nice for soaking up paints and yeah, really sealing them in. So I scraped off the acrylic paint that was painted on the leather with the wire brush and used acrylic paints on the fabric parts so that it gets a lot more dark and mucky.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see that. It seems alive. It tells a story. As you said, this now looks like someone who eats tree bark and doesn't use toilet paper. That's definitely what it looks like. No, it's fantastic. I mean, really down and dirty as the Witcher costumes tend to be. Fantastic, man.
Yeah, so there's a funny story about distressing that I can tell from one of my friends, like back in the early 2000s when he made his first undead flesh costume. He went outside with his brother, and their father was a hunter, so they got a shotgun and some shells for the shotgun with them, and went into the forest to distress the costumes that they made. And he loaded a few shells, laid the costume on the ground, and blasted it with the ammunition, and came onto it and saw, man, this is totally wrecked. So instead of buckshot, the bigger rounds, he loaded birdshot and absolutely shredded the whole thing. So he just destroyed 2 months of progress in this thing. So for distressing, don't use shotguns.
Well, I think we should use a shotgun just for, just to experiment a little bit. I think it would be kind of funny if we got a shotgun in the studio and played around with it. Maybe grab a few beers, we have a trained American here. I'm sure he can help us out.
Because this always works well.
I mean, you have to be skilled to handle alcohol and guns together. I mean, you need some sort of training. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and yeah, as the pictures are coming up right now, this is a stab wound that I
How did you do this
manufactured.
stab wound? Hmm?
Yeah,
How did that happen?
I cut a hole into the fabric with um, like a crafting knife, and cut right through the padding. In the Freyhan gambesons, it's like synthetic padding that's in there, and pulled a whole bunch of this out. Used acrylic paints in different red and brown tones to really get into the crevice in there and paint the inside a bit. So really dark paints on the inside and lighter paints on the outside to mimic the effect of dried blood. So like someone stabbed me in the back, um, and then I used some linen kitchen thread that I use with all my seam projects and all my leather projects, and sew very crudely over it. Like I fixed my wound, so
Yeah, you
now
didn't
I
have
fixed my
time.
gambeson.
Yeah, like your character didn't have time.
No, no, no. Like he was on the run and just needed a
Yeah,
quick fix, so that not all of the innards of the gambeson will come out.
I
So
really
yeah.
like that. It's got a great look to it. Yeah, man, that's fantastic. Maybe I need to get stabbed.
Oh
Then
yeah.
again, um, talking about being stabbed, just for the audience out there who are trying to take away some sort of caveats from this show, Nicholas and I play brothers, and I just want to quote Shaggy here when it comes to this wound. Wasn't me. Um, uh, Us Temerians, everybody wants to kill us, but we don't kill each other.
Oh yeah. Always have
Actually, on
each
second thought,
other's
it was
back.
me.
Yeah, and then I used leather fat in the end to just seal it all in and make it a bit more dirty and grimy.
Cool, cool. What else have you been up to? I see you've gone to town in your trousers and are
Yeah,
wearing very, very sexy socks.
yeah. So,
Let's talk about
so
those socks.
as
What's on the socks?
these are my space socks.
Okay.
Anyone that knows me for about 2 or 3 days might notice that I wear lots of colorful socks. And whenever relatives of mine come to whatever occasion, Christmas, birthdays, whatever, and give me socks, I'm not that depressed about it. I always enjoy freaky socks. So yeah, these are space socks.
I heard that wearing colorful socks is the mark of a very intelligent person. I myself am wearing black socks, so goes to show.
You also wear brown pants.
Yeah, but that's tactical.
Okay, so the thing that I modified with these, I put points over the knees because I wanted to wear like kneecaps on them, knee armor, and I needed some place to fix the knee armor, so I, as you know me, used points and have sewn them directly onto the pants. The pants are from very thick and very durable canvas, so they can take the strain of a point that's directly sewn onto there, so that's absolutely no problem. And then I also use leg wrappings to yeah, just wrap the leg and make it a bit more colorful, even though it's gray. So yeah, that's the basis for the knee armor that I put on there. For the knee armor, I used an old pair of UF Deal armor that I picked up a while ago. So really ancient stuff.
Yeah, they'll be popping up in a minute, I think. The
Yeah,
knee. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's some UF knee armor.
yeah. So these are from the I think the first set of UF Deal armor that was ever produced. And in my opinion, they are one of the most comfortable knees that you can wear because they're very roomy and nice convex shaped. So you've got a lot of wiggle room in there for your knees, and yeah, they're
I
quite
also
comfortable
like
to wear.
the little baby plate underneath.
Yeah,
That's also kind of cute.
yeah, I really like that, and I played with the idea of putting maybe writing on there, or maybe something to like a little picture or something that I could paint on there, but I decided against it because I always wear my armor for different character concepts, so I'd like to keep it clean and use it for different occasions.
Yeah, we did
But
talk
as
about modularity in a
yeah,
previous episode. That's always kind of important. So you can go to town and make something an exceptional piece, but if you do that, well, you're probably just going to wear it for one character.
Yeah, but now with the knee cups on, I really enjoy the whole look of the pant situation. I wasn't really fond of it the last time that we did the photos, but with the gray elements and the black elements and the trim, and also the yellow laces that we put on there, I think now it really comes together, and now I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, you owe me €2.50 for the laces.
The
Where's
next
the
beer is
money?
on me, so. Yeah, so I think the chat right now asks how do you actually prevent them from slipping? Yeah, like the points that I put on there prevent them from slipping down, and there's a band on the lower plate that holds them in place over the calf, so that they're fixed in place. So in the photo you can see the little strap on the lower edge of the plates, on the tiny plate, the baby plate that Lester mentioned, and the point on top holds them above your knee. So they're quite sturdy on there and
So yeah,
really don't slip.
when setting your points, be sure that you're wearing your trousers properly.
Yeah.
They're not going to slip. You're wearing them comfortably. Then mark your points. Then, as Nicholas did, do double-sided leather with thick stitching, so that the point doesn't tear out. And then you've got your cops, and they won't really move much. That's kind of the trick. But if you wear your pants half-assed, not with a tight belt, and they're moving about, then of course the knees are going to fly all over the place. And if you haven't sewn them on properly, the points that is, they'll start tearing, and again your knees will be all over the place. But yeah, since I know Nicholas, I don't have knee problems anymore, which is good.
It just depends on how hard you kick the kneecap out. Okay, yeah, but yeah, as I said, I'm really enjoying these knees so far.
And are these my underwear? Is this yours?
Yeah, so the next project that I had were the extra large tidy whities. So I have sewn myself a pair of breeches, like the earliest form of medieval underwear that there is, where you can fix. I think in English they're called just Hosen or single legs. In German they're called Beinlinge, or yeah, like they're extra large stockings for your legs that you can also fix on points. And the breeches allow you a lot of mobility in the hip area and with your legs, and the single leg hosen just prevent your legs from getting cold. I used, I think this is an old bed sheet that I used for the breeches. Always recycled fabric.
Yeah.
It's cheap, it's easy, and the environment thanks you. So I used like old bed sheets for the breeches. I've woven the points myself. It's like a just like the three lace weaving. It's not very difficult. It's like a weaving hair, just with weaving cords.
Yeah, it's the same technique you'd use for a helmet band.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll do a video on that someday soon.
yeah, on helmet bands. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, and as you can see there on the points, I fitted them with little lace tips for shoelaces that you normally use on shoelaces. I know that there are lace tips that are very intricately formed and formed from brass, and that are very expensive in my opinion for just the simple task. And you can find these brass tips for shoelaces very cheaply on Amazon, eBay, whatever. And for these simple tasks like putting laces on or points on your breeches, they work absolutely fine. And you can sew them into there or glue them. Yeah.
And here we see the hosen, the
Yeah.
binding. Yeah.
So and this setup is so comfortable, and I wear pajama pants all the time, and I have to say these are even more comfy than pajama pants.
Yeah, I guess they would be. Yeah, you'll get some air here and there. It's not too tight. I could see myself going to work in these for sure.
And the thing is that when you use or when you cut out the single legs on the diagonal thread flow with the fabric, they stretch a little bit, and that makes them really comfortable. Yeah, and I hand sewn all the visible stitches on there, just to have flat seams in the back of the calf. And there you can see all the little stitches that run from the back to the front, just to flatten the seam. And
Nice.
there's
Yeah,
also,
also a great thing to do really is to do a lot of work with a sewing machine. I mean, a lot of people have grandmas. Grandmas have sewing machines. These are facts, and then just go over the machine seams with a hand seam, and
mm,
makes it look great. Yeah.
yeah, and then I fitted a little stirrup or a little band under there just to prevent them from slipping upwards.
And next up, we have you working on a belt. But the important thing here is you've used a very interesting weathering technique on the
Oh yeah.
rivets. Give us
So
the lowdown.
in the late medieval period, plaque belts will come up. These are like the knightly girdles or belts that are worn by the nobility just to show off. They're normally made from cast brass. The thing with cast brass is it's super freaking expensive, and I cheated my way through there. So fake it till you make it in this case. So I used zinc-plated punk rivets, like these big pyramid rivets that you can buy on also eBay, whatever. And I scraped off the zinc plating, then I buffed them with some buffing compound and steel wool, and then I used leather antique finish on them. The thing about leather antique finish, the brown kind of leather antique finish, is that it's got a lot of yellow and orange tones in it, so it makes the tin pyramid rivets looking like, yeah, weathered brass. And I really enjoy this effect on there, and it makes them look very dirty, very worn, very yeah, worn down. And that's exactly the effect that I wanted with this. And it worked out great. So working with leather and tick finish in so many ways really turns out great.
One important thing, I'm guessing you hit this with a varnish, right?
Yeah, I used acrylic clear coat or matte acrylic clear coat for this. I think you can see the matte effect on, yeah, on the next picture right here, where it comes through a little bit more matte than glossy. So I used multiple coats of acrylic clear coat on this. I think I used like 3 or 4 coats even, just to make sure that the finish won't scrape off and that you won't see the yeah, like the shiny silvery metallic under there.
Did you tape the leather before you put on your coats, or did you just go like,
No, no,
fuck it?
no. No, I just went over there because the leather was already sealed with leather fat. So this made sure that the acrylic sealant won't affect the leather in any way.
All right, that's the belt. Sweet. I kind of want it. I may steal it next time we see each other. Next up, a vest. You're working on another vest.
Yes.
Give us the
So
news. What's
this
this?
this is for the civilian outfit for my Temerian Blue
Hmm.
Stripe Commando that we are both doing right now. And I wanted to do a combat outfit and a civilian outfit, and this is for the civilian outfit. For inspiration, I used the Witcher or the Witch Hunter outfits from Witcher 3, from the video game, in which the witch hunters use these long leather coats. Yeah, it's just sturdy protection for their normal upperwear. And this was, I think, a vest that I bought from Mythalon in their outlet store. Was about 40 euros. It's a velour leather, which I fitted with new belts and buckles and sew on extra seams on the armholes, enlarged them a little bit, and fitted some rivets on there just for show. And I fitted a collar on there to protect the neck a little bit more.
Yeah, sweet. That also just kind of looks cool. Um, gives it a whole new look, really.
Yeah, I really enjoy this mucky, rustic look, and I've thrown on a whole bunch of leather fat in there. The problem with velour leather is that it really soaks in the leather fat, so that you have to use multiple coats of this. But when you use it, you get this irregular coat, this irregular look that looks way dirtier than before. So yeah, to get a good worn or used look on velour leather fed.
Sweet. That's also like a LARPer thing, isn't it? It's not like how do I clean my stuff. It's more like how do I get it even dirtier? It's like this already looks like no
Yeah.
one's ever gonna touch it, but how do I make it look even more disgusting? Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
again, we love that stuff. We come from the undead flesh. That's where we really kicked off our LARP career, and man, that was also some horrible stuff we did. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
walked around smelling like coffee and bleach.
Yeah. Coffee bleach. For my first distressing thing, I used, mom and dad, forgive me. I used gasoline on my my stuff and set it on fire in our backyard. So, yep.
Oh my goodness. It's like that what could it what was yeah, there was nothing that could have gone wrong.
Oh yeah.
All right, helmet. What's
Yeah.
with the helmet? You had a cute Princess Leia helmet. What's this now? This looks cool. I like the derpy one.
So, I got in contact with a little seller on Facebook. It's called LARP Garage or LARP Garage. It's based in Germany. It's a little startup that formed in December, I think, so it's not around too long. And they make really nice and different looking LARP helmets. And this is their Eisenknecht or Iron Servant model that I have. It's inspired by these rondel helmets from the late medieval period, and they put a little fantasy spin on there. And what I really enjoy about them is the contact that I had. They were so friendly, were so nice. They've got their helmets in different size variants, different thickness variants. So there are helmets that just have 1 millimeter thickness from face mask to skull. There are helmets that have 1.7 millimeter thickness, so you can put on whatever you like. And I could exactly pick the one that I wanted to, and I really enjoyed the aesthetic of this. I like the derpy one that I had on the last time, but this one just fits the aesthetic a bit better, I think. And yeah, I picked it up, it fitted perfectly. So this is just an amazing piece, and I can encourage everyone to swing by LARP Garage on Facebook. Give a look at the helmets that they have. They specialize in helmets and rondels or little armor accessories. And they also have like a Norse line for helmets, and they're really great. I just enjoy them.
So
And that's,
then you went over it with gun bluing.
yeah, so as we talked about our last projects, we both of us nearly use gun bluing on all of our armor projects, and this one was no exception. I used gun bluing in different coats and different varieties on this. I think there are around 3 or 4 coats of gun bluing on there, just to really pop this darkened effect. Um, yeah, and as we said the last time, make sure you go outside, make sure you wear gloves, make sure you're in a well ventilated area or wear a respirator, because this stuff, this is toxic, man.
Well, I mean,
So
you're not supposed to drink the gun bluing, but I'm guessing the stuff you used to get the fat off of the helmet was
yeah.
solvent based.
Yeah, of course. But on there wasn't really much fat on this one or much grease. I just used soapy water and a dry towel to remove the grease,
Hmm.
and dried it off completely before I used the gun bluing. And then sprayed a few coats of acrylic clear coat on there to protect everything.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
that's the latest helmet project. But enough of me. What did you do?
I don't remember what I did. I'm gonna need pictures. There's some stuff lying around that I don't remember, but yeah, maybe we can pull up some of my pics. One thing that I did was so when you were here together, we worked on a shield, and I thought that people like that shield so much, I thought I'd do the same thing again. Similar to the Cantina band. Oh, god damn it. I can't get it. Come on. So I just thought I'd do the same thing again.
Hey!
I made one for Nicholas. He did the leather trim on his. I tried it this time. It was fun. It was actually not too hard. Nicholas' shield, his stripes go through. Mine sort of veer off to each side. You'll see some work in progress pics there. But yeah, I mean, those things were fun to paint.
And these are the Freyhan shields, when I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly. They're now available in the Dine Lab shop and the Freyhan shop. As long as we have them stocked, you can purchase them.
And they're amazing base for modding and individualizing, so I really enjoy these.
Yeah. All right, Nicholas. I'm sorry. We only have 5 more minutes for me, so try and do this as fast as you can. Just
Okay.
let's not
okay.
waste time on me.
But yeah, so you made another bandana.
Yeah. No, I made another bandana because the dog likes them a lot, and I always have these contests: who wore the bandana better, me or the dog? And I've never won, but I'm trying. See, here you can see the dog's really, really proud.
Oh, you have to try hard.
Yeah, the dog is so pretty. There's me, the hairy weirdo, trying.
Left or right?
Yeah, no. One's a hairy pussy and the other one's me. Yeah, no, and the hat, Nina Wuzicka made that one for our boss Marcus. Yeah, I borrowed that just for the pic.
Ah, cool.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting a message from the tech support. The other pictures broke. They don't work. But we can still talk about the other things that I did. I can hold them up to the camera, Nicholas. Maybe you can see them. I made this.
Nice.
And you know what this is? I nearly killed you with it.
So these are the tassets for your Nurgle Haradrim inspired character.
Yeah, this ugly thing over here. Yeah, I've been working on this for a year, and I'm still unhappy as hell. There's a lot that has to be done, but I will get back to it very soon. Yeah.
And just for me to remember, you used like coconut floor mats for these.
Yeah, this thing doesn't look like it, but it's made from IKEA. Pretty much all of this is IKEA.
Nice.
It was very cheap, but it was a lot of work. So what I do is I take a heavily used paintbrush, which is so wrecked with Patex glue, and then I just form a point on the other side, and I go through all the material with this while pushing through some macrame to get this heavy stitching, which is 0.6 millimeter thick. I like it, but there's still a lot missing to this costume for it to actually be good. But I have some other stuff lying around, which I'll be working with. I have these sort of eyes that I may put somewhere. I've created this meat out of glue and paint and varnish. It looks nice and wet. You can see the same thing here. Paint job isn't finished. This is something. If I hold this into the camera, it's disgusting. It's horrible. I have underneath all the other armor pieces lying here. I actually have a water pump rucksack, which will be connected to this, so that I can start spraying people in the face. Because I mean, when something looks like blood and viscera and mutation and meat, and it looks wet and it's disgusting. Your whole body's thinking, oh no, this is disgusting. This is just a costume. This isn't real. And then all of a sudden you get hit with wet mist. That sort of tends to give other LARP participants the overkill, and they really start running away.
It's like the psychological warfare everyone deserves.
The psychological warfare everyone deserves. Yeah, I guess.
Nice, cool.
Thanks for asking me as well. I think we'll cut me short. anyone who's interested. Nicholas and I, we always post on our Instagram. We're going to go into a short break, and then we'll be back with our weekly Wolfgang. It's a different Wolfgang every time, every show, different Wolfgang, but every guest from now on will be called Wolfgang. So join us after the break. See you soon. And we're back with SKALD Crafts. This is the best part. It's advertisement. So what we want to talk to you about quickly before we go into our interview of Wolfgang, you've been waiting for it, we'll give it to you, is Twitch Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you're able to link your subscription to Twitch Prime, and you're able to give us, SKALD TV, a monthly contribution. It costs nothing for you because you have Amazon Prime, but we receive a little bit of money. It's good for our statistics. So if you fancy going into your Amazon Prime and donating to this great cause of crafting stuff, then that would be fantastic. So Twitch Prime people, do us a favor, throw us a subscription. Renew it every month till the end of days. That'd be fantastic. Okay, let's go into the interview.
Hi, Wolfgang.
Hi there.
How's it hanging? How's it going? Yeah, it's going good.
Good to see you.
So,
yeah, it's
how are you really called Wolfgang, or is this just a gimmick that we're doing, that we're calling all our guests Wolfgang?
Are we doing that shenanigan again?
Yeah.
No, my real name is Wolfgang, so you're
Okay.
basically right. But we won't tell the viewers anyway, so.
Yeah, we'll just cut this out when the interview goes online. We'll just cut this bit out. So how did we all meet? That's maybe an interesting thing. How did we figure out to get you onto SKALD TV? How did that happen?
Yeah, I guess we connected via Instagram. I think we gave some props to each other, to our costumes, and then we started chatting, right? So
I think we stalk each other for about 3 months straight right now.
Yeah, no, that's actually an interesting thing. You can on Instagram you can find really interesting and motivated crafters. I've just started using Instagram since Christmas, and I felt weird at first, but all the cool people I met just really made it worth it. I mean, if you're interested in crafting, Instagram's an interesting place.
Yeah,
and I think the tone on Instagram is also very nice. So if you think about other platforms like social media, and you put up pictures of your crafts, in some social media platforms they're like, oh, this is not good, I don't like this. But Instagram is very helping, and very positive attitude. So and that's what I like there. Yeah.
And you work under the account Angrus the Witcher on Instagram?
Yeah, I do. So I just started when Corona started, I was like, where do I get my props from now? So that's why I went to Instagram and wanted to share some things with everybody. And so I also found some very interesting people like you. And you can connect.
I found you because Yvonne from Airy Artworks recommended you. She said, look at this guy. And because I'm barely capable of reading, I just read Angriest Witcher, and I thought, okay, I want to know who this guy is. He's the angriest Witcher. Turns out you're Angrus the Witcher.
Yeah.
So, but your Instagram is absolutely plastered with your amazing Witcher stuff that you put on there.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about it? As I can see, you've got it in the background with you there.
Yeah, got some. I put it up here. So, but what I like about sharing all these pictures is I like to share the work in progress stuff as you do, and during Corona, I think it became a new hobby to really craft new things, even when I don't or will not wear them at all. So just doing new things, putting them out, and that's it basically about that.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're kind of similar when it comes to that. We're this sort of mutant crafting LARPing hybrid. We all like to LARP, but if there's no LARP, then we just craft, and it's okay.
Yeah, and that's cool that yeah, you put up that channel and we talk about crafts, because that's what we can do right now. We talk about it, we have fun about it, and yeah. So
so something I'd like to know is, how did you even get into LARP and crafting? I mean, everybody has, that story, parents killed by orcs, or I started playing Dungeons and Dragons or some shit. How did you get into LARP?
So I basically got into LARP, I think that's 15 or 16 years ago. I played Ultima Online. I don't know if anybody knows that game.
Our cameraman plays it still. But
Still.
yeah. Wait, how old are you actually? Because
I'm 34.
Years? No way.
Yeah. Don't look like 34, right?
No, you don't. You don't look like 34.
Yeah. That's fine. Maybe that's the mutations.
The Witcher
stay
mutation.
young.
Yeah.
You stay younger.
How
No,
was your journey exactly from Ultima Online, like an online MMO, to LARP?
yeah. And that's the point. I knew some guys for real that were playing Ultima Online with me together, and I knew that one guy. He really was a big, fat, chubby kid, but he was really good at Ultima Online. And I was like chatting with a friend and said, like, if I only had like a sword and really could beat him up like in real life, and because in Ultima Online it was not possible. And he was like, okay, why don't you come with us and do some LARP? And I was like, okay, let's do it. And this is how I came to LARP in the first place. And have a guess, what was my first LARP character?
Adventurer, parents killed by orcs?
No, I played an elf.
Nice.
But
Okay,
I only had.
That's the bar high for a first LARP character. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I only had a cloak, and and just like a shirt and a cloak, and I made a bow out of the bad wood parts. How they're called? I don't know what they're called. Like in the bed, what you put out
Out of like
these wood springs.
spring.
From the-
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a bow out of that, and that was my first outfit. Yeah.
Nice. That's amazing.
I'm guessing there's a lot of power on that bow, actually.
Yes, there was. So yeah, but it worked.
Nice.
I
Okay.
think I had 1 or 2 arrows on that LARP, so I really was not that effective.
You really had to make the shots count.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Cool.
that sounds fun though. I mean,
and
yeah.
yeah,
And what
and
was your
then
first
with-
LARP? Where did you go for your first LARP?
it was called the Wald, the wood, the forest, the Wald, der Wald,
Okay.
forest, and yeah, it was nice. It was in Bavaria. It was I think the convention was just a one-timer, but the organization is still they're still having a LARP shop. I think it's the Nordländer. He's still
Oh,
does
yeah.
weapon,
Yeah.
and he did that con, and yeah, that's what was the first. I still have pictures of that. I have to get them out at one point and share
Oh,
them
the
with the world.
nostalgia.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool.
And another question, actually, because we do need to talk a little bit about LARP. What's your LARP philosophy? So when you go to LARP, do you go for the drinks? Do you go to look sexy in your Witcher costume? What do you play for? Do you play to win? Do you play to lift others? Do you have a group? Talk to us a little bit about your LARP experiences.
So I did a lot of sports during my sports career. So I played lacrosse on a very professional level in Europe. So, but
wow.
I didn't have a lot of time to go to LARPs. So I really was a lone wolf to be that. So that's why I went with the Witcher character, because I can play alone. I don't need a group. So that was the first intent. And the philosophy is due to the fact that I'm coming from sports, I was you have to, in sports, I always said look good, feel good, play good. And that's why I crafted all the stuff myself, because I wanted to make the look count, the good make a good impression with with a costume I have. And for the philosophy, it's like I think everybody on a LARP event needs a stage, and the stage has to be provided by others. So when I want my time to shine, I would like the others to push me or my character concept, and that's what I also do for others. So
Nice.
I don't try to steal any elements from others. So if there's an alchemist, like, then he does the things, right? So or and I really like the small things about like about the LARPs. I like to do the contracts, to do like the individual talks, to really go deep into like a character, yeah, into the characters' minds, or into like the how do you say that? I really want to, yeah, be. I really want to exchange on the character level and not be like the guy who
So
like,
you're
really.
you're not looking for the sort of save the world plot. You're more looking for the little details and the character stories. Okay. Well,
I'd say my character is more like an ambient, or how you say, like ambience.
yeah, no, he's an
ambition?
ambient character.
He's an ambient character. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, so I guess that's a really healthy LARP attitude. I mean, I didn't start off with that one. I wanted to win, but then later I figured the same thing out that you play, which is healthy and supportive, and you start playing with other people. That's definitely the better way to go.
Yeah,
And
there are even LARPs that I even don't pull my sword at any time, because because it's more like the play with other characters that's interesting for me. So yeah.
Yeah, and then when it comes to crafting, when did you switch from modding your bed springs to making the craziest Witcher? I mean, when did that happen? Did you learn it from someone? Did you teach yourself? How did you teach yourself? How did this happen?
So first and foremost, I'm not the craziest Witchers, because there are so many good crafters out there. If you look at others like Mimin's Workshop or Krakenhead's Creations, they are like amazing.
Yeah.
So don't say that. I don't want that.
I was just trying to be nice. Obviously, you're not the best.
No. What I really when it came to that is like I was frustrated from buying things from online shops, to be very honest, because they didn't fit well. The fabric was not nice, or I had to change so many things, and so I came to like, okay, I do everything myself. The only thing I really don't do is shoes and swords, because I'm very bad with all the glues and sticky stuff. So that's not my cup of tea, I'd say. But my parents have the basic equipment to do like for furniture, like when you put like fabrics and furniture and like how do you say that?
Like the
Upholstery.
upholstery equipment.
Yeah,
Upholstery equipment. So I took that and in the first place, and made my way, and asked a lot of questions to good crafters, and that's what it came out in the end.
And what is your major inspiration for your costumes? Do you look at artworks, or do you look at movies? Or
I think I'm at Pinterest a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I'm at Pinterest.
my cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm swiping through pictures and think like, oh, I like that stitch here. I like that pattern here, and then I try to put things together as I like them. Yeah,
Cool.
and for my Witcher character, I really like the bear school armor. That was like the first idea about it, but I wanted to mod it my way, that it doesn't look like exactly like in the games. And that's what came out. Like I have the light outfit and the heavy armor outfit. So.
And when it came to the fabrication process, was it just learning by doing, or did you look at tutorials, videos, or even other crafters?
Yeah, I looked up some tutorials, especially when it came up to like forming leather, or like also to stitchings, how to do them proper. But in the end, it was like really learning by doing. I had a lot of test pieces that are now thrown away, but still, it was learning by doing. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I think
And
that's basically how we all do it in a way.
but
Yeah.
you are meticulous in your work. I mean, when I look at your work, you do all the hand stitching over the machine stitching, and but so fine, so small, and use thin thread. I mean, there's so much detail. You have to get very close to even see that it's there. But when you wear the whole costume, overall, it just pops due to all these tiny, minuscule details. Just so pretty. But we've talked about your Witcher for a while. What else are you working on? I can see another jacket in the background, and I heard on Instagram you're working on a crossover project.
Yeah, I have a small crossover project. It's like I want to have the idea to bring the concept of the Ithilien Ranger from Lord of the Rings into the Witcher setting with all like the stitches and the weathering, more the dirty look. And that's the crossover I'm working right now. I've put on some braces. I don't know if you have the picture ready. I've got the braces were like the first piece of it because they were really like everybody knows the Boromir bracers from Lord of the Rings, and I wanted to bring them into the Witcher setting. So that's kind of the crossover I'm working on right now. And for other stuff I'm crafting right now is I just think I talked to Nicholas before, and I said like it's sometimes I really don't need new things, but I just see them on Pinterest and say like, okay, I want to do this, and then we'll find out what to wear it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And that's with a jacket in the background. Like I wanted to have like a more of a prettier and very light outfit when it like just comes down to going to the tavern or whatever. That's the jacket
There's
is
still
for.
chainmail under there.
Yeah, but the chainmail wasn't the first intent. There's still chainmail. Yeah, it's like when you get stabbed in a tavern, you need a chainmail vest.
That's good. That's
It's
good.
stabbing protection, right?
Yeah, there's this Phil from Freyhan. He wears I don't know what he wears underneath it. He doesn't seem to wear anything underneath it, but he has a metal chest plate, and then he has a gambeson with a doubled up chain vest on top of it, and it just looks so heavy and unnecessary, but so cool at the same time. This is kind of the same thing with yours. Like, yeah, I'm wearing the gambeson over the chainmail.
Yeah.
That's how hard I am.
I think one of my one of the guys I'm like exchanging ideas. He was saying like it looks like more of like the bad guy look, well, like with a tank top under the gambeson.
Did you take off the sleeves?
For what?
Did you take the sleeves off the chainmail?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it is a tank top.
It's a tank top, yeah.
Sweet,
Brings a
that's
whole
so
nother
cool.
meaning to tank top. Nice.
Yeah, the idea about that was it's if you know them, there are these splinter protection vests that they use in the modern military. So and I think like I do like a splinter vest.
Like the flag vest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a flak vest. And yeah,
Nice.
do it with chainmail.
That's good.
Nice.
But we also did this on our commandos, Les. We copied the whole Vietnam aesthetic for our belts and our straps.
Yes, we did.
So
Yeah.
why not?
I mean, definitely, and it's funny because I haven't seen it much in your artwork, Wolfgang. But when we talk and we bounce ideas off of each other, also to the viewers, if you're not bouncing ideas off of other people and you're enthusiastic about crafting, you got to start bouncing ideas off of people. You can bounce ideas off of Nicholas and I, Wolfgang probably too, but he has to say for himself. But start bouncing ideas off people. So when Wolfgang and I bounce ideas off each other, you always come up with military ideas. Like, how do you make, modern day military stuff? How do you incorporate that into medieval LARP costumes? When we talked about imagery, but then again, I barely ever see it on your costumes. Are you going to start implementing something like that in the near future?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, because you talk about it a lot and you think about it a lot, and I just wondered. I've never seen you do it on your own costumes.
That's true. Good point.
A question that I have actually is, when it comes to you, what would you say is your gimmick? As a crafter, what's like, for instance, Nicholas does this. I mean, for me, Nicholas' gimmick is that not only is he very pretty, but he also does a lot of leather seams, and he does it in a very Nicholas way. With you, it seems the hand sewing is a very special thing. But what would you say is your crafting gimmick?
Yeah, I say the hand sewing and the different styles of stitches I use. Sometimes I really sit in front of like a new project and pondering, well, what stitch I should use, and then I go take a piece of leather, put up some different weaves or stitches, and then I like try to consult everybody in my LARP exchange WhatsApp and send out pictures and asking for what looks good, what doesn't look good, and yeah, I think the different stitches or the different styles of stitches that I use in my armors.
Nice. But
what would you say? What would you say if you look at my stuff?
I don't know actually. One thing is you wear a very interesting color palette that other people in LARP don't wear, and that's probably due to you sewing your own stuff and buying your own fabric, whereas a lot of people in LARP buy products and modify them. So you see a lot of typical colors, and you see a lot of the same. So okay, he's wearing a modified Burgschneider tunic, or she's wearing a modified Freyhan Shields. You seem to do a lot of the stuff from scratch. So the color scheme, that's one thing. Sewing, very, very fine, very detailed. Other than that, I guess the armor as well. I mean, you have an interesting, very clean way of working with leather. What I also like is that what you do with leather, correct me if I'm wrong, is you do a lot of layering that is clearly visible, and I also like that a lot. That's actually, maybe that's what I'll take away from this. Maybe I'll say that's very, very Wolfgang of you.
I think that's all.
Say the layering is one major aspect of your armor and of your costume in general. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's like I think you're hitting the right point. I think the layering is very important. I think because like when you can combine, especially when you craft so many things, like then you want to combine them, and so layering is like the simplest way of combining that together in one piece of armor in the end.
And whatever you layer, if you put a layer on anything, be it a leather seam or multiple layers of leather, or 3 layers of clothes with a fake skirt or whatever, it will always make the costume look more intricate, give it more depth, more detail, and it will look 100 times better than the single dress, or the single shirt with a cape or whatever. If you add these layers on top, embroidery onto a simple piece of clothing, something on the hem, some holes, some dirt, all these layers, they just make the costume live. So yeah.
And what I think is also very important when you do that layering is that you also put details on the layers that you maybe think they don't see, but they will be seen. So even on the bottom layer, you put details on, because like even if it's just for you, that you know that it's there. Some stitches, some how you say that, some small details, like
Yeah.
if it's just a rivet, or if it's just like a kind
Even a
of
patch.
even a patch, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like for instance, there's two stories I remember about that. One is from Bega, from Trollmarkt. He told me he on one of his many underlying layers of his troll, he's done embroidery, which no one will ever see. And he gave another good example why it's important. He said, "I'll see it. I'll
Yeah.
know it's there, and it'll make me feel good." And that's
Yeah.
that's great. I like that. The other bit was from Milner, and this is a bit of a funny one. So we started this cross stitch thing for Ateron, our newest Mythodia faction. So all the costumes have crosses stitched on them, in very very wild manner. So it's easy, anyone can do it. And I saw Milner doing it, and he was paying attention so that the inside of his tunic, the back end of his embroidery would line up and look good. And I just looked at him, because it took him so long, and I was just stabbing and doing it really fast, and it looked ugly from the inside. And he said, "Well, what if you fall on your back and your tabard falls over your head and people will see the inside of your embroidery?" And I was like, I don't care. But he gives a good point, and it's the same thing you said. People will see it one way or another, and makes sense to just make the effort.
Yeah, just make it, and it makes you feel good because it's there, and you know that every piece that you wear on your armor or your costume is has this unique detail that just even if it's like the lowest layer.
And I think then your sports mindset comes in, like feel good, play good. No, everything you said.
Look
comes
good,
into
feel
play
good,
with
play
this.
good.
Yeah, everything you said comes into play when you feel good in your clothes, when you deliver the look that you'd like to give, and that's, I think, the most important part of a costume, that you feel good in it, and that this will allow you to give the experience and the looks that you'd like to inspire.
Yeah, and I also have like a kind of a small book where some Witcher recipes and some Witcher ingredients are written in there, but probably no one will ever see it because it's they're like secrets. So, but I have it for me, and I use it for play, and I know it's there. So maybe like one day some person will see it, and that will be like a big conflict for me or for him, or we'll see.
Yeah, I hope the day will never come when people see the back end of my costumes. Okay, so I've said some bad things about myself. What are your guilty tricks, Nicholas and Wolfgang? Where did you cheat? Give us some dirty details on when you guys cheated and you feel ashamed.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
Like when you look at the Gambazon, it looks like Hansoon all over. But
It does.
I'm using an overlock a lot. So everywhere where I will put like leather seams over, I'll overlock it in the first place, and that's so easy. Yeah, you can put multiple layers together, like especially with Gambazons, and then put a leather seam over it, and it looks like it's handmade, but it's probably not.
That's a good trick.
Fixing leather in place before you will punch it and sew it with school glue. It's like using a glue stick to put leather pieces in place before you punch through them and sew them. Makes the life so much easier. And using hot glue, not hot glue, super glue on like the points of points, like the brass tips, before you sew them. Glue makes life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I do the same with the points. I
Yeah.
glue them before I put them in.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I feel like I still look like the biggest ass over here for my back end sewing, but I'm glad you guys cheat as well. And but then again, you know what they say, a good artist, knows where to cheat. You don't have to do everything from scratch. You don't have to make it unnecessarily hard. And using an overlock, well, that just makes sense. You don't want your clothes to fall apart. Use an overlock. Great idea.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, we're heading towards the end of the show. Let's give another shout out over here to Wolfgang. Angris the Witcher on Instagram, fantastic. You can hit any of us up. I think we said that about crafting tips. We're definitely down to bounce ideas off of each other. Nicholas made another good point. You can check out the Witcher community. They're always up for crafting on Twitch streams. Sorry, not Twitch streams. Discord streams. Yeah. That's a lot of fun. And I have to kind of give one final shout out to the people from Radio Novigrad. They're a Witcher podcast. This stream is not just about Witcher, but it's Witcher themed today due to us having the angriest Witcher here. So Radio Novigrad, great talk show podcast on all things Witcher. Also, they have some debates about some really hot topics. I definitely like those boys. They've got a giveaway going with us, Borgstein and Freyhan, and it's going till Sunday. So get informed, check them out, subscribe to them, and take part in the giveaway, and maybe you can get your very own basic Witcher gear to modify. We'd be happy if it's one of the viewers from the stream. That would be cool.
Yeah, all you have to do is create a spicy Witcher meme, send it to them, and maybe you're under the lucky few that get picked for the raffle. So stay tuned on Radio Novigrad's site, with which we have got this giveaway going. And take a look at Angris the Witcher on Instagram, but because I think there's a whole bunch of stuff coming there in the next few weeks, months.
I didn't even have the time to look at pictures from work in progress stuff, so.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to have you on another time.
That's fine.
When this lockdown stuff ends, or lifts a little bit, we'd be glad to have you come round. Our hostel is now finished. It's the construction's done. We could have guests, but then we have pandemic, so we can't.
Yeah, that's fine. Completely fine. Yeah,
anyway,
it would be a cool idea to come by.
Thanks for joining, and maybe after the show we'll have a little chat and a beer. But thanks to you guys watching out there. Nicholas, thank you for making time for us tonight. Wolfgang, thanks for being there.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time. And one last thing. If you're called Wolfgang and you're interested in crafting, you can be a part of this stream. You don't have to be a man, or you can be female, you can be whichever gender. You just have to be called Wolfgang. That's just simply legally change your name to Wolfgang and you can be on this show. Okay, thanks you guys. Perfect. Thanks for watching. We've been SKALD Crafts and we've had some fun. See you next time.